A very good evening to all of you. Hello, everyone. I'm Sukanya, and if you're meeting me for the first time, obviously we are going to, resolve a lot of your queries. So be seated and be prepared to hear a lot of information today related to SLAT interviews. I'm sure you guys have your own set of legit questions. I hope they get resolved by the end of today's session. So just give me a quick thumbs up in the chat box if I am perfectly audible, perfectly visible, so that we can start with today's session. So we are going to discuss the A to Z of SLAT interviews. And I'm sure you guys are here because you are very, obviously, you might be very solid in your head that you're probably going to clear the, first round and the second round as well. And that is exactly what we are going to discuss here. So yeah, hi Vinayak, good evening. Hi Bunty, good evening to you as well. So let's start with the very first question, and that is, who is actually eligible for personal interview? uh, देखो सबसे पहले तो हमें पता होना चाहिए कि whether we are eligible or not. Okay, now you will be eligible only if you have cleared SLAT 2024 exam, right? Secondly, after the declaration of the result, you need to wait for the declaration of the result. The list of the shortlisted candidates would be put up on the website. Okay, and they will be actually eligible for that online personal interview session. Okay, the entire process will be published on the website. Hi Tanisha, good evening. Also, you need to keep in mind that you need to pay extra for appearing in this personal interview, and the fees is going to be a minimal 1000 rupees. Okay, so if you have any doubts related to the eligibility criterion, please feel free to ask me in the chat box. The first thing is you are supposed to clear SLAT 2024. Secondly, you are supposed to go through the website where they'll publish the list of shortlisted candidates. And the third one is you need to pay a fee of 1000 rupees, right? Moving forward, process and timeline. So first of all, I'm going to give you a proper list of how you can, write in your preference list which college to put in the list first, then the second and the third and the fourth. So the first college is going to be obviously Symbiosis Pune. The second one in line is Noida. The third one is going to be Hyderabad, and the fourth one will be Nagpur. Okay. Now, the thing is, the interview dates might vary for each of these colleges, but we are still having a tentative, timeline here. So from 31st May till 10th of June, they'll be done with interviews, personal interviews for all of their campuses, all of their four campuses. Okay? Then the most important thing here that you need to remind is slot booking. So when I talk about slot booking, that is you need to visit their website and you need to actually book your slot. Until and unless you do not book your slot, you might not be called for that personal interview. So I have already mentioned the website name here. So if you want, you can click a picture of it. You can go on it and book your slots as soon as possible. Okay. Then there will be a declaration of merit list. As you can see, earlier there used to be VAT, but from this year onwards, they have stopped taking that another round. So पहले हमारा जो weightage हुआ करता था वो 60% हुआ करता था for SLAT, and then it was for W80 VAT, and the last one was for personal interview. But now 70% of the weightage is on SLAT examination and 30% on personal interview. So it does matter how you perform in your personal interview. So be very, very careful about that. Okay, again, merit list is going to be declared on the website itself. So you can go on the website, which is mentioned here. You can check out your name there, and I'm sure that you guys are going to make it there. So moving forward to the next one, you need to have certain documents in place. So बचपन से I think सभी के पास ये सारे documents तो होते ही हैं. तो सबसे पहले तो हमें क्या करना है, we need to get at least 3 to 4 copies made of these documents, and these are your usual documents like your 12th standard mark sheet, ठीक है? Then your provisional passing certificate from school, your caste category if at all you fit into that criterion, your photo identity proof, then certificate of children, watch of defense personnel, if at all that is applicable in your case. All certificates of curricular, co-curricular activities that you have done in the school, because अगर आप अपने CV में ये सारी information लिखोगे, but you do not have any proof to back it up, then obviously you will not be taken seriously. तो अगर आपने स्कूल में कोई भी चीज सीखी है एंड इफ यू हैव अ सर्टिफिकेट फॉर दैट, इफ यू हैव वन समथिंग एंड इफ यू हैव अ सर्टिफिकेट फॉर दैट, प्लीज अटैच इट टू योर CV. That is a required, I would say, mandatory thing for you. So ये सारी चीजों का एक quick, if you want you can click a picture of this, and please make at least 3 to 4 copies of it, because अगर पता नहीं आप लोगों ने हर्ष सर का एक वीडियो देखा हो या नहीं देखा हो, तो उन्होंने वहां पे मेंशन किया था कि देयर वाज दिस वन स्टूडेंट हु एक्चुअली मेड 4 5 copies एंड शी काइंड ऑफ सर्कुलेटेड इट टू like every interviewer, and that was very very impressive. So they definitely, I would say, appreciate when somebody acts in a proactive manner. So you can also do the same, and in any which case, if you have an extra copy, it definitely helps, right? So moving forward to the next one. Now, here are a few pointers that you actually need to remember when you're setting your foot in the interview room. So the first thing is you need to be extremely calm and relaxed. हो सकता है कि you might be undergoing a lot of mental turmoil. So अंदर जो भी चल रहा है, you need to actually bottle that up for at least that particular time period, and you need to actually, put on that face where you seem that you are very calm and relaxed. Secondly, always have a confident smile. A smile goes a long way. And people do not actually, I would say, attach a lot of importance to it, but a smile really goes a long way. So never underestimate the power of a confident smile. Now, you also need to have a very positive body language. The first thing that you need to do is knock on the door, and you need to ask, may I come in? And only if you get the permission, then you set your foot into the room. So that is something which actually you need to pay attention to. Until and unless you're not asked to sit down, you will not. Okay. Secondly, please wish the panel members, depending upon the time of the day. It might be morning, it might be evening or noon. So be very, very mindful about that. Wish them, and again, have a very smiling, I would say, friendly appearance. Maintain proper eye contact with each of the interviewers. So even if you're answering certain questions, you can actually, have a cursory glance at everybody and make eye contact so that you appear confident. Okay, that matters. And one of the most important things that you need to remember is never lie. Okay, never bluff. So these are all seasoned, experienced players. The interviewers are obviously experts, and they have been doing this for quite some time, so they clearly know if you're lying. So never lie, never bluff. Whatever is written in your CV, first of all, go through it before you actually hand it over to them. तुम्हें हर चीज पता होनी चाहिए जो भी तुमने मेंशन किया अपने बारे में, ठीक है? और झूठ बोलना, यहाँ पे हम कह सकते हैं कि इट्स अ बिग क्राइम, सो नेवर डू दैट. And whoever has joined us just now, so good evening to you as well. And we are just talking about the general things that you need to remember. So yeah, hop in. Coming to the next one, try to simplify your answers. Do not talk about things in a roundabout fashion. It's very important that you showcase your oratory skills. So, if you're somebody who communicates well, who is articulate in their thoughts, that actually reflects really well for you. So, अगर तुम बहुत अच्छे से अपने thoughts को उनके सामने रखोगे in simple and clear terms, your position would be rock solid on the day of the interview. Okay? And on the day of the results. And the next one is, when you do not know anything, please admit it honestly. There might be instances जहाँ पे वो कुछ ऐसा क्वेश्चन पूछ ले जिसके बारे में आप लोगों को शायद नहीं पता हो, तो वहां पे जानबूझ के उस चीज का आंसर देने की कोशिश मत करना, because again it is a part of bluffing only if you will try to answer something that you do not know. So be very smart and admit it honestly कि I actually do not know about this, but once the interview is done, I'm definitely going to look it up. Okay, you can say something like that. Never use slang. Slang का मतलब ये होता है कि casual language हमें नहीं use करनी है, because you're not really talking to your friends here. You're talking to some esteemed people who hold some important position in a prestigious college, right? So always be very formal, very cordial. It's very very important. ठीक है? Next one is, again, never underestimate the power of dressing well. So always wear crisp, solid colored shirts. कभी भी ऐसे रंग बिरंगे कलरफुल कपड़े पहन के वहां पे मत पहुंच जाना. Wear something like black, white, navy blue, and Again, wear iron clothes, very, very important. Have your hair made up. ठीक है? Do not, appear in front of the interviewers in a very scruffy, unorganized manner. So dress well, dress sharp, which will give you even more confidence. ठीक है? And I think मेरे ख्याल से सभी को ही पता है कि when you are dressed well, you automatically become, I would say, more confident and as well as more assertive in the way you respond to situations. So it's obviously a requisite here. So moving forward to the next one, what type of questions you might encounter on the day of the personal interview? So the first set of questions are obviously going to be about yourself, and this is something which you might have also written in your CV, ठीक है, in your resume. Now the thing is, पहली बात तो have a thorough background check of your resume, क्योंकि ऐसी कोई भी चीज जो तुम्हें नहीं पता है but is in your resume is going to backfire on the day of the personal interview. ठीक है? So all of those things, देखो resume में क्या क्या चीजें होनी चाहिए. So first of all, a little something about yourself, about your family background, about your school, about how much percentage you have scored in a particular examination, about any curricular co-curricular activities that you have participated in, उसके सर्टिफिकेट्स हो तो और भी अच्छा है. ठीक है, तो ये सारी इंफॉर्मेशन आपको अपने सीवी में डालना जरूरी है. नाउ रिमेंबर व्हेन दे आस्क यू समथिंग लाइक टेल मी समथिंग अबाउट योरसेल्फ, और वहां पे अगर तुम हर चीज जो तुमने सीवी में लिखी है वही की वही रट्टाफाई करके अगर वहां पे बोल दोगे तो ऑब्वियसली इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू वर्क वेल फॉर यू. सो व्हाट यू नीड टू डू इज you need to talk about what has made you into you, first of all. So basically you need to talk about your personality characteristics. For example, हम कुछ ऐसी बात कर सकते हैं कि there was this one time when I was sick and I had my pre-boards, but I still managed to get this much just because I am a very determined person. Okay. Or maybe you can say something like how you have always been very honest in your day-to-day transactions. You can also talk about how you are, very, very helpful. Sometimes you go out of the way to help people. You can also talk about how you have won several accolades in a particular स्पोर्ट्स. सो ऐसी चीजों के बारे में आपको बात करनी पड़ेगी जो आपके कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स या पर्सनालिटी के बारे में उन लोगों को ज्यादा इंफॉर्मेशन दे. ठीक है, बिकॉज आपके स्कूल के बारे में, आपके परसेंटेज के बारे में, आपकी सिटी के बारे में उन लोगों को ऑलरेडी पता है, बिकॉज दे कैन सी इट, दे कैन रीड इट इन देयर सीवी, इन दैट सीवी, राइट? So be very, very smart with how you answer. You can talk about your hobbies as well. You can talk about what you would want to pursue once you get the college of your, dreams. जैसे ही तुम्हें अपना, फेवरेट कॉलेज मिलेगा, ऑटोमेटिकली यू आर गोइंग टू एक्चुअली, broaden your horizons by maybe possibly you will learn a new skill. तो ये सारी चीजें भी उस चीज में होनी चाहिए when you talk about yourself. They might ask you question about what actually made you, pursue law. So ये वाला जो क्वेश्चन है इसका आंसर ऐसा मत दे देना कि जस्ट बिकॉज मेरा बेस्ट फ्रेंड भी लॉ कर रहा था तो मैंने भी सोचा कि क्यों ना मैं भी लॉ ही कर लूं. ठीक है, बिकॉज इट्स अ वेरी फ्लिपेंट आंसर टू अ वेरी सीरियस क्वेश्चन. ठीक है, तो इसीलिए यहाँ पे क्या बोलना पड़ेगा आपको? सबसे पहले तो आपको बताना पड़ेगा कि व्हाट हैज एक्चुअली मेड यू इंटरेस्टेड इन लॉ. ठीक है, क्यों आपको ऐसा लगा कि लॉ इज द परफेक्ट मोस्ट सूटेबल फील्ड फॉर यू? तुम ये बोल सकते हो कि आई हैव ऑलवेज पार्टिसिपेटेड इन डिबेट्स, आई हैव ऑलवेज बीन इंटरेस्टेड इन, बेसिकली आप बोल सकते हो गिविंग स्पीचेस इन द स्कूल. So when you talk about your oratory skills, when you talk about how you have knowledge about several things, this actually will work in your favor. तो आप ये बोल सकते हो कि that's the reason I got interested in law, because law actually gives me an opportunity to showcase my oratory skills. Or maybe law actually gives me an opportunity to help people who are needy. तो ऐसी चीजें जो आपको बतानी पड़ेंगी जो एक्चुअली जेन्युइनली आपसे रिलेटेबल हो. Now again, you don't have to lie outright. You have to actually talk about things which you genuinely feel about. So वही बात करनी है यहाँ पे भी when they ask you what actually made you pursue law. ठीक है? Moving forward, what are your major strengths and weaknesses? So when we talk about strengths and weaknesses, पहली बात तो ये जितने भी questions हैं which I have presented on the screen, इसकी if you want you can click a picture and you can actually get ready with these answers beforehand only. ठीक है? So when I talk about major strengths and weaknesses, पहली बात तो strengths जो होती हैं वो हमारी क्या होती हैं which actually make us stand out. in a in a crowd. For example, it can be something as simple as you being determined enough, or you being a hard worker, or you being a very sincere learner, or you treating things as an opportunity to become more knowledgeable. ऐसे बहुत सारे लोग होते हैं जो बहुत curious होते हैं by nature. So even that can be your strength. I am very curious. I am inquisitive. I like to do my research about things I'm interested in. ये सारी आपकी strengths हो सकती है. और weaknesses में again, weaknesses ऐसा मत बोल देना कि generally बोला जाता है कि जब आपसे weaknesses पूछी जाती हैं, so your weakness should also be a positive thing. For example, when you say that I am a perfectionist, okay? So when you say something like that, it appears as a downright lie, because then they can ask you another question which might put you in an awkward situation. फिर वो ये बोलेंगे कि अगर तुम इतने ही perfectionist हो तो यहाँ पे तुम्हारे percentage इतने कम क्यों हो गए? ठीक है? So you don't want to actually encounter questions such as these. तो हमारी weakness भी होती है जो वो genuine ही होनी चाहिए. For example, you can say something like I'm short tempered. I lose my mind very easily. I need to actually do something to control that. Okay, I don't have that much patience, but this is one quality that I really need to work on. So if you have, that attitude where you will try to work and overcome over your weaknesses, probably that would actually present a win-win situation for you. So strengths and weaknesses के बारे में already एक list बना लेना उस चीज की. उसमें स्ट्रेंथ्स ऑब्वियसली ज्यादा होनी चाहिए. ठीक है, एंड स्ट्रेंथ्स ऐसी नहीं होनी चाहिए कि जस्ट बिकॉज यू हैव रेड इट समवेयर और यू हैव सीन समबडी स्पीकिंग अबाउट इट सो दैट हैज बिकम योर स्ट्रेंथ. यू नीड टू एक्चुअली जेन्युइनली टॉक अबाउट योर स्ट्रेंथ्स. ठीक है, विच ऑब्वियसली वेरीज फ्रॉम पर्सन टू पर्सन. नाउ नेक्स्ट वन इज व्हाट आर योर शॉर्ट टर्म लॉन्ग टर्म गोल्स. अगेन शॉर्ट टर्म गोल तो यही है कि टू गेट इनटू द बेस्ट कॉलेज, राइट. Long term goals may obviously to excel in the field that you have chosen for yourself. So again, you need to be ready with such type of questions as well. Why should we select or reject you? So again, यहाँ पे जब वो आपसे पूछते हैं कि क्यों उन्हें आपको सिलेक्ट करना चाहिए, तो आपको बताना पड़ेगा कि how you have persevered for so long to become a lawyer, and by actually being a part of this college, this prestigious college, it takes me one step closer to my dream. So you can talk about things like that when you want to get selected, obviously, right? And you can also talk about how you have always heard great things about Symbiosis, and how it has always been a really big brand, and how you have friends in this place who talk highly of the college. तो ये सारी चीजें आप इस चीज में बात कर सकते हैं. Now, another very important question that they might ask you is, would you prefer SLS over other NLUs? Now, एक आंसर बहुत यहाँ पे, again, you need to be very very honest about it, क्योंकि if you get the top 5 colleges in future, अगर आपने सोचा कि मुझे CLAT देना है और फिर हो सकता है कि मेरे first top 5 में मेरा नाम आ जाता है, तो automatically your decision would kind of shake there. So यहाँ पे be very honest, बोलना कि if I get the top 5 colleges, top 5 NLUs, obviously my preference would be that. But obviously my sixth preference, my sixth immediate preference would be SLS. Again, you can talk about, all the contributions that it has made into this, made into the lives of lawyers. You can talk about how your friends have passed out from this college, all of those things. And the next one is why you chose a particular college. जब ये क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है तो बहुत सारी चीजें आती है जो दिमाग में आती है. अगेन, curricular, co-curricular activities, the kind of well-regarded experienced teachers that this organization has, ठीक है, how it gives me an opportunity to hone my other talents and skills. ये सारी चीजें आप बता सकते हो उनको कि why you have chosen this college for yourself. Okay, and what is your preferred course? Now, if you're somebody who's more interested in commerce, then you can actually go for BBA. If you're more interested in arts, so you can go for BA. But both the fields are definitely going to provide you a plethora of opportunities. So it's totally up to you which field you want to choose. Okay, moving forward to the next set of questions, which are going to be obviously about current affairs. Now, here we have placed certain, I would say, topics which you might have seen making headlines recently. तो इन टॉपिक्स पे एटलीस्ट पढ़ ही लेना, बिकॉज ये अभी बहुत ही करंट टॉपिक्स हैं. I would say such topics are getting a lot of, I would say, publicity recently. So Israel Palestine, इसके बारे में I think आप लोगों ने already पढ़ा ही होगा बहुत ज़्यादा. CAA, NRC, Arvind Kejriwal controversy, Lok Sabha elections 2024, Pakistan Taliban conflict, India versus Maldives, etc. Now these are some of the topics. These are not the short topics, but क्योंकि ये topics अभी बहुत ज़्यादा headlines में थे, so this is something which at least every person should have a basic knowledge about. ठीक है, because अगर वो ऐसे topics पूछेंगे और if you do not have anything to say about it, then automatically it shows that you are not really, I would say, a person who actually researches well. So that's the reason if you want to come across as somebody who is obviously comes from a lot of, I would say, research, knowledge, wisdom, तो इस चीज के बारे में तो एटलीस्ट पढ़ ही ले. ठीक है. Moving forward to the next type of question that you might encounter, and that is going to be your stream related questions, because people from different streams actually come and choose law, right? So they can ask you about your 11th and 12th. They can even ask you some generic questions about your 11th and 12th. ठीक है, generic as in general questions. They can ask you some generic questions about the field that you had chosen. हो सकता है आप PCB या PCM से हो, तो वो आपको पूछेंगे कि तुमने ये चूज किया था and then suddenly why you have chosen law for yourself. Because again, in this case 2 plus 2 doesn't equal 4, right? तो वो ये पूछ सकते हैं कि अचानक से what made you choose law over these fields. So you need to have again a very genuine answer for that, because probably it might be you come from a family of lawyers, it might be your real interest towards the field, it might be how a particular advocate or a particular lawyer who has inspired you to choose this field, or it can be, you know, maybe your ability to defend yourself well in a, a difficult situation. So again, be very, very genuine about why you have chosen this and now you are pursuing law. And again, they can ask you certain field related questions. So अगर आप biology field के हो तो biology से भी related questions पूछे जा सकते हैं, generic questions. तो थोड़ा बहुत आपको उसकी आप बोल सकते हो अपनी field specific general knowledge भी होना जरूरी है. ठीक है. Moving forward, the last question that they might ask you is, do you have any questions that you would like to ask from us? Now, if you have any, I would say, general questions related to placement or infrastructure, I would say that you should shut your mouth instead. Because ऐसे questions अगर आप पूछोगे उनसे तो automatically it will make your position weaken in front of them. तो ऐसे questions तो नहीं पूछने, but हाँ, you can definitely ask them questions related to how you can, get yourself involved in activities here. Do they have different clubs? For example, if you play guitar, do they have clubs where they actually teach you how to play guitar? Or maybe if they have a band where you can get, enrolled. So all of those questions can be asked, which can be genuine questions again related to the college. And you can also ask about how you can, you know, in terms of any confusions, where exactly can you go, and that's basically it, right? So you can wrap it up by saying thank you again, be very, very courteous, be very, very confident and honest, and that's it. So that is about the type of questions that you might actually encounter. Now, frequently asked questions here are, should I go for BA LLB, BA LLB or BBA LLB? So I've already told you, if you're somebody who's interested in commerce more, go for BBA. If you're somebody who's interested more in arts, then definitely go for BA LLB. Campus preference के बारे में मैंने starting में ही बताया था. So the first preference should be definitely Pune. The second one is Noida. Third one is Hyderabad, and the fourth one is Nagpur. That's how you can fill out your preference list. Okay? What matters, what does not. There might be questions in your mind whether it's going to take up a lot of your time, because you might also be preparing for some other exam. So if you're somebody who's not getting ranks below 25 in mocks on a general level, then you should definitely not miss this opportunity, because this will actually, get you into a really esteemed college. And I would say, again, Symbiosis is one of the most recognized as well as one of the most prestigious college as well as a brand. So obviously, this is one college where if you get yourself enrolled, so it matters a lot in the long run. And colleges definitely do matter. So this is another question that you might have in your mind. And again, the last and the final goodbye for today, and that is all the very best. Prepare well. Again, जो भी आज हमने questions discuss किए हैं, please write it down somewhere. Do a thorough research over certain things. Even if you are making your CV, वहां पे भी जो भी चीजें आप लिख रहे हो उसके बारे में आपको पता होना चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं है कि I'm just simply writing it to appear cool in front of the interviewers, right? So again, be very, very honest, be very genuine, and have a very positive body language. Never sit cross-legged. ठीक है? Never keep your hands on the table because that make you look like you are in the authoritative position. So these are some key tips which you can actually remember on the day of the personal interview. So that's a wrap from my side. Thank you so much. All the very best. Prepare well. And yeah, don't leave any stone unturned. Thank you so much. Bye bye.